Bryan Freedman is absolutely tearing into Blake Lively. He is calling her out for celebrating a fake victory.
Because she's on a false victory tour, and she's afraid of the truth. And the truth is, going to be shown through depositions, which is what's going to be next. I've noticed her deposition. It's set in June. We're going to see if she's going to appear at that deposition or not. And we're going to proceed forward with the case. And we're going to show that there was no sexual harassment. And we're going to show that there was no smear campaign.
Justin Baldoni's attorney is breaking his silence after his $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively.
So, if you guys didn't know, the judge dismissed Justin Baldoni's countersuit. And because of that, Blake Lively has been celebrating as if she has won the whole thing, but Justin's lawyer was quick to drag her back to reality.
This is big. We just found out that the judge in the Justin Baldoni-Blake Lively dispute has officially thrown out Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, his amended complaint against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, the New York Times, PR person Leslie Sloan. This is a motion to dismiss. It's the initial stage of trying to get a lawsuit through, and by all accounts, according to the judge, Justin Baldoni and his team, they failed.
But, of course, Blake's out here acting like she's already won. She is busy doing her victory dance. When TMZ asked Bryan what he thought about her win, he didn't sugarcoat a thing. According to him, the case isn't over. In fact, this is just the beginning. It didn't even start with a defamation case in the first place. This whole mess started when Blake went to the Civil Rights Department claiming sexual harassment. That led to the defamation lawsuit filed by Justin's camp to clear his name.
Overall, it's not what the case is about. I mean, let's remember where we got started here. We got started because Blake Lively filed a CRD complaint. And then, walked over and filed a lawsuit which, accused some very good people of a smear campaign and accused, a terrific young man of sexual harassment, both of which were completely untrue. And that's where the case got started. It's where the case stands today.
But now Blake's running around acting like she's scored a major win. Not so fast. Now here's where it gets serious. Yeah, the case got dismissed, but there are still 4 major claims hanging around. Breach of an implied covenant and tortious interference with a contract and 2 others.
I think there are 3 other claims that you could refile, correct?
There's actually 4, and the judge was very specific about them. Intentional interference with contract against Blake and Ryan, intentional interference with prospective economic advantage, that exists still. And that's against Blake and Ryan. Negligent interference with a prospective economic advantage, that's against Blake and Ryan, and breach of the implied duty of covenant of good faith and fair dealing. And those are, that's against Blake. And those claims still exist. The judge just wants us to replead them and gave us a roadmap on how to do that.
And that breach of implied covenant suit, well, that's when Justin accused Ryan Reynolds of allegedly going to WME, Ari Emanuel's agency, and telling them to drop Justin as a client. Ryan Reynolds, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, is allegedly making some shady moves behind the scenes.
His entire case against her has been thrown out, except for 2 minor claims for breach of the implied covenant and tortious interference with a contract. So implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing and the tortious interference with a contract, which are based on one smaller allegation made in the in the Justin Baldoni complaint, suggesting that I think this one is based on the fact that Ryan Reynolds allegedly went to WME, this large agency where Ari Emanuel is the owner and chief agent, and said, you need to dump Justin Baldoni as a client.
Bryan Freedman is not having it. He's calling out her so-called victory, and he's not about to let her walk away unscathed. Instead of backing down, he's hoping Blake doesn't drop the lawsuit because he's got a big surprise waiting for her.
You mentioned in June her deposition. What's your strategy for that? What's the key question you want to get her under oath on?
State your name. I want to see if she shows up.
And this is where the drama really starts. This June, there's a deposition scheduled, and you better believe Bryan is ready to do what he does best. He's going to get to the truth. He's planning to cross-examine Blake and use all the evidence he's got to show that she's been lying all along. He's going to pit her testimony against all the facts, and if her story doesn't line up, well, let's just say it's going to be awkward for her.
I'm going to ask her questions under penalty of perjury, and she's going to have to provide evidence and she's going to have to provide the truth of the stories. And we have all the videotape, we have all the footage, we have, the text messages, and we have emails. And we're going to see how consistent her testimony is with the actual facts of what transpired.
And Bryan's not stopping there. He's determined to clear Justin's name, and he's also making sure everyone dragged into this mess gets cleared too. It's all about full transparency, no stone left unturned.
It's not just important for me to have Justin's name cleared in court. It's important for me to have Tag and Jen Abel's names cleared in court. It's important for me to show the truth and to give the clients the real, result that they're looking for, which essentially is what they were accused of, right? There was not sexual harassment here. She wasn't sexually harassed, and there's no smear campaign.
Blake is out here bragging like she's already conquered it all. She's thanking her supporters, talking about how privileged she feels to stand up for women who've dealt with sexual harassment.
On her Instagram story, she referenced the 19 organizations that wrote amicus briefs in support of her, Friends of the Court. She began, "Last week, I stood proudly alongside 19 organizations united in defending women's rights to speak up for their safety. Like so many others, I've felt the pain of a retaliatory lawsuit, including the manufactured shame that tries to break us. While the suit against me was defeated, so many don't have the resources to fight back. I'm more resolved than ever to continue to stand for every woman's right to have a voice in protecting themselves, including their safety, their integrity, their dignity, and their story. With love and gratitude for the many who stood by me, many of you I know, many of you I don't, but I will never stop appreciating or advocating for you."
She's even crying with relief, and according to an insider from People magazine, she's having a full-blown victory celebration with her legal team.
And then according to one insider per People magazine, she's been crying with relief. She's obviously relieved. They both are, someone tells People. She feels vindicated. Everyone is happy on the legal team. Well, I really think her days of feeling relieved and super happy about this case are numbered. And to be honest, I think they're not as joyful as she's portraying and her PR people are portraying in the media right now.
This girl is straight up throwing herself a party as if the case is all wrapped up. But we all know that's not how this works. But will Blake even show up for the deposition? Because if she does, it's game on. Bryan's team is going full throttle, and they're ready to prove that Justin is innocent of all these ridiculous claims.
And Baldoni's team breaks silence and fires back as they have filed a motion to depose Blake Lively, meaning she may soon be questioned under oath. He said the lawsuit will move forward with new evidence.
If Blake's story falls apart under cross-examination, she'll have no choice but to face the consequences. She'll have no option but to settle out of court. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be? She's out here claiming victory, but in reality, it's all about to crumble down.
And it's a very simple case now. He said, she said. That's what it is. No more cross claims, really. No more New York Times. No more press people. It's her versus him. And on the merits of that case, I believe she will lose in this court of law. She's going to get Amber Hearded. That's what's going to happen.
Bryan Freedman isn't exactly thrilled about how things are going with the case, but he's not holding back either. He's out there saying loud and clear that the media needs to be held accountable for the truth. No more giving Blake a free pass.
What was Justin's reaction to it? The same as my reaction to it, which is, it's not fair. It's not right. And the reality is that someone should have a chance to be able to be held accountable. And you should be able to hold media accountable for the truth and veracity or the lack of it of what they show. I think that he's a person who wants to be vindicated, and that's all that he cares about.
You might be wondering why the judge just tossed the case aside, like it was old milk no one wants to drink. Well, here's the deal. Blake, in fear of losing, decided to file a 12b6 motion to dismiss the case. Basically, it's a move that stops a case before it even gets to discovery or trial.
What's happened this week is this federal district court judge reviewing what's called a 12b6 motion, a motion to dismiss the case without even getting to discovery, never mind trial, has granted that motion filed by Lively and the other defendants against Baldoni.
Sure, the defamation suit got tossed, but don't be fooled. This case is far from over. Bryan Freedman is on a mission, and he's not stopping until all these allegations against Baldoni are wiped clean. Was Blake's victory real, or was it just a flashy show with no substance? Is she truly winning, or is this all smoke without fire? We want to hear your thoughts, so drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss what happens next. Catch you all in the next video.